Welcome to Microdose Psychedelic Insights, powered by the Conscious Fund. This is the Psychedelic Insider Series, fireside chats with industry leaders in the psychedelic space.
Okay, hello everybody. I'm here with Sanjeev and Neeraj from Peak Human, and they're going to discuss their upcoming Psychedelic Frontiers Virtual Summit.
Thank you, Jason. Yeah,
Yes.
I really appreciate that.
Nice to speak with you guys. All right, so in just a few days, you have a summit coming up.
Yeah, we're really excited about it. It's our first one. The topic obviously is psychedelics, and psychedelics are set to change the world yet again after a few decades of being absent from the scene.
Yes.
So, Sanjeev and I decided, it was time to find out more about this and bring that information to a wider audience by interviewing some of the top minds in the industry and just around the industry as well.
Yeah, definitely. So your organization is Peak Human?
Yeah, Peak Human is really the brand of this summit, but also kind of follows my medical company, which is called Peak Human. And I did a summit on anti-aging back in the summer, and now we're doing one in the psychedelic space.
Excellent.
So yeah.
Okay, and it seems so. It's a virtual summit with what seems like a gathering of some of the top-notch speakers and people in the psychedelics industry. You got a whole range of people. So it's going to be a virtual summit with. Well, explain to me what will be happening. You know it better than I do.
Yeah, so I think, with COVID, basically, I think we got an opportunity to rethink how summits can be done. Become much more popular now. It makes it a lot easier for the attendee to gather, see the information and basically listen to some of these great speakers. So we've interviewed people that'd be relatively difficult to get into one room. Top scientists around the world, people from the UK, and today we just interviewed somebody from Estonia. So people around the world, and their conversations means they're very just engaging conversation with some of these great minds in the space. And people can watch this over the whole weekend, and they can even have a chance to keep these videos and watch them later on. So
yeah, I do want to mention that registration is free, because our primary intent was to get this information out there. Psychedelics offer just an incredible possibility for treating mental illness, but there's still a little bit of a stigma attached. And so, the live conference over the weekend is completely free registration.
That's great. That's a good move on your part. I mean, yeah, to get the more education, the more engagement we can get, the quicker we can move, destigmatize things and move things forward. So it's very useful. Good on you guys.
Yeah, and as Sanjeev mentioned, really, we've got some top-notch speakers, from Jim Fadiman, Robin Carhart-Harris, we've got Matthew Johnson. It would be almost impossible to get them into one room at the same time. They're very busy.
Yes.
Good. We want them out there doing their research.
Yeah, definitely. The only way to get some of them together is to throw a shindig in Miami, which is what we're trying to do. But short of that, yeah, it's definitely not an easy task.
And I'm sure that was not easy. That's a major production. It's difficult to do.
Yeah.
And there's costs involved, and difficult to do a free ticket for an event like that.
No. Our tickets are unfortunately not free. But yeah, no, it's great you're doing it. I've spoken to some of your attendees, and they're great conversations, and they're important people in the field. So I'm sure it's going to be great content. Besides those top names, it seems you've got a couple of CEOs in there. I see you have Ronan Levy of Field Trip and Ben Sassa, I believe, and so it's really going from industry to science to, I think there's some media people there as well.
We also have some not-for-profits. USONA is participating. Sanjeev from McCain Foundation. We tried to really cover different aspects.
Yeah, I see that.
And yet it's not, I would say, I think anybody can get something out of it, whether or not you're the first time ever to this whole field of psychedelics, or you're, a researcher, because we've gone quite in depth with some of the interviews. Like we interviewed Dr. Charles Nichols yesterday, and, we were talking about the really ins and outs of these 5-HT2A receptors. So it's quite interesting. Whereas, with, Madison, we were talking about, on the ground advocacy for psychedelics. So it's got something for everyone. I think that's, it meets people where they're at, which I think is really great.
Yeah, and I think it also shows the diversity of what's happening around psychedelics, right? People coming in will probably be impressed. People who are new to the field and are just hearing about it will see how it'll help people see how developed the field is. I think that's surprising to people who are coming in for the first time to realize how well developed and evolved the industry is becoming. So yeah, it's definitely gonna help here. So these are going to be, so some of these are recorded. Are any of these going to be live conversations?
No, actually, the entire summit was pre-recorded. Again, just made it easier to get some of the speakers so we could work at their schedule.
Mm-hmm.
However, there is an option to engage on the platform that we're using. So even though the sessions are pre-recorded, all the attendees are attending it synchronously. And so, there's an opportunity to have some discussions, interact with each other. Who knows? I mean, it's not quite the same as a live event.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit easier to participate in.
Yeah, so it gives the opportunity for some potential networking. Yeah. So go ahead. You got something?
No, I was just yeah, that's what I was going to say. The networking can happen in a video manner as well on the platform. So it's it's a little bit of a different field than just messaging, but yeah, we're hoping to have people interact beyond just listening to the talks.
Yeah, that would be great. And so it's conversational style. I mean, kind of like this.
Kind of like this, exactly.
Right.
Sanjeev and I tried to approach it as, with an open mind, and just try to take the audience on a journey with us as we ask questions.
Right. So the two of you are the hosts and interviewers.
That's right.
Okay. So you've been with 40 speakers. I guess you've been working the Zoom a lot, I guess.
Similar to this.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of Zoom fatigue, but every conversation has just been so interesting. It keeps us going.
Sometimes you don't know where it's going to go at the beginning. You may think we don't know really what's going to happen, but there's each of the speakers is something about them or something about their story that I think will get the viewer interested. And I think you're right. Like the industry is pretty big already, but we only are just beginning to, so many new opportunities are happening. And so I think that's what the viewers will hopefully see, is that we're just at the beginning of so many different paths. So hopefully they can feel that they're part of it. Like they're in at the early stage. They can, see where the real conversations are at. Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like I said, this is showing the breadth and the diversity of the industry. So is there anything else you'd like to let listeners know? What can they expect, or how can they get in? I mean, they can join through your website. I mean, we'll be posting links to this in our coverage, but is there anything you'd like listeners to know?
Yeah, I mean, I think the main thing is, it's PsychedelicFrontiers.ca, free registration. Come join. We hope that listeners will engage with each other, because we don't want this to be just a simple recording, but an actual event where like-minded people or just discover new connections.
Right. And is this going to be part of an ongoing kind of series? Is Peak Human you have plans for more psychedelic events or material, or what's in you have any future plans for this?
I think we need to see where this one goes, like how this weekend, how the response is, and how people, what type of feedback we get.
Mhm.
But I think there's a bunch of speakers we couldn't get in time for this event, so
Mm.
we may continue it for that.
And Jason, very honestly, my curiosity for sure, and Sanjeev's curious too. It's going to get the better of us. Sanjeev's kind of ambivalent here, but for sure, I think there will be another one. There will be something to follow on, because you see where the industry is at now, and we're going to want to see how it progresses and bring that to the audience as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, if it's any kind of give you some hope, and Microdose has been doing virtual summits monthly for over a year now. We've had over 20, and the response has been good enough that it's the industry has wanted more of it. So that's been ongoing since the early stages. Since day one, when there wasn't as much of an audience as there is now. So there's hope. There's an audience out there.
Sure.
Yeah, you guys are definitely being trailblazers in this aspect.
Yeah. Well, I'm relatively new to the team, but it's going to show how much things are expanding, and Microdose is growing. The industry is growing. I mean, I wrote a piece recently about psychedelic conferences that are happening. And we're not the only ones. There's other events out there now building all around us. So yeah, it's fertile ground.
It's interesting. It's kind of been said, but even though, when you're inside, it seems like so much is happening. It's so developed,
Mm-hmm.
but most of the population
Mm-hmm.
considers it a very fringe, strange area.
Yeah. Or they don't know of it at all, and I'm reporting on the industry news and stuff. And, there's daily news happening around the industry that's relatively big, and stuff's happening. And, you speak to other investors or people in the business, and they're like, they don't even know. So yeah, there's lots of potential out there.
Exactly.
Untapped market. Okay. Well, this was good, short and sweet. We're going to follow up with a written piece, and we'll get this conversation out there. And I wish you guys luck this weekend.
Thank you.
And you've put together a pretty impressive list of speakers. You got some of the big names in the biz.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we were lucky to talk to them.
Yeah.
And we'll see you in Wonderland. I'll be there. So.
Oh, excellent. Yeah. See you in Miami.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Okay.
Nice speaking with you. I appreciate it, and good luck this weekend.
Thanks.
Great. Thanks.
All right, cool.
Thanks for joining the Psychedelic Insider series, brought to you by Microdose and the Conscious Fund. Visit our website at www.microdose.buzz.